Griffin Sky with This Week in NIU Esports. On Tuesday, the Huskies went up against Akron over Overwatch and came out victorious with a 3-0 match. Here are some highlights from the game.
Experience tranquility.
Apagando las luces.
In League of Legends, your Huskies fought to the very end but was sadly defeated by Northeastern 2-0.
6 when Jin Zhao is, so Jin Zhao can kind of control the pace of the game.
Well, Pingu's going to pop the Ghost here. Is going to be able to get the Q. Now that's going to be the re-engage, and NIU is going to be able to get first blood on towards this Darius, as Swole Pingu ends up with the solo kill up in the top lane of Northeastern. But NIU going to have to be careful here because they don't really want to give that up early on here in this game.
It's a great start for Northeastern. They're probably going to try to avoid fighting around the Jinx at this moment. Unless they think they can, like, one-shot Jinx. Wow.
Well, speaking of one-shot...
On Saturday, however, the Huskies gained a 2-0 victory against Ohio University.
That Counter-Strike and jump combo. Now, both junglers are going to get here. Fury's going to be able to get this first. This is an early proc of the barrier. NIU going to be able to get first blood. Are they going to be able to turn anything out of this one? Flash comes through from Rengrar, and NIU will take this one cleanly. Jonah going to go ahead and engage here on towards Otter. Flashes forward, does Rengrar. Now, Chains of Corruption don't land on towards anybody. Renglar is taken low, going to be stunned. Now able to turn, does Snark. And so there's the exhaust on towards Suds. Suds is taken low again. That's going to be the double kill over towards Snark. NIU. It's Summon Airy for Chillin' and then Guardian for Otter. I'm going to go ahead and get started here at about 7 seconds.
I still cannot see anything yet.
NIU now going to be able to turn in here. They do go forward. Is Jonah in the pit? No, he's not. So NIU could theoretically look to steal this. NIU just continues. They get the 4 kills. They don't even lose the dragon. Triple kill goes over towards the side of Fury, and this game is at this point just doomed for Ohio.
We talked to Coach Bevo on Wednesday about what he expects for this season.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to leak too much of our prep, but we've been scrimming a lot. We've been really focusing on our communication, who needs to share what information, who needs to tell who to go where. That's what a lot of our games have been focused on. Draft has been super interesting. We've been trying a bunch of different stuff out, and really also at the same time honing in on an identity for the team. One style that we really want to play. Just learning the new map, but with the new season, we got a new objective, and things are crazy right now. So we're all learning a lot about that. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys stick around. It's great having you. I have a blast. The players have a blast, and we hope you guys are having a blast too.
Your NIU Huskies are back this week with Overwatch against the University of Buffalo on the 4th and Bowling Green State University on the 6th. Meanwhile, your NIU Huskies in League takes on Kent State on the 5th and WMU on the 8th. All matches will be live on Twitch at 7 p.m. and 2 p.m. This is Griffin Sky signing out, and go Huskies!
All right, and hopefully everybody can hear me because we're going to get started here. And welcome in, everybody. My name is Connor Vagel once again here for NIU Esports. As you guys just saw, we had some awesome matches throughout this past week. We're going to get ready for yet another one as we had that video out a little bit late. So last night, our Overwatch team had a fantastic victory over Buffalo. If you haven't watched it, I suggest you go back and watch the VOD because it was a crazy one. we're going to go ahead and get into game number 1 of NIU versus Kent State in some League of Legends action. And thank you to our production crew. Ethan has put together a awesome video stream here. So you guys are going to be able to see draft as we go, and away we go with that initial Rumble ban. Something that we've seen taken away from B chilling there in the mid lane pretty often, and it will once again be taken away here as well. Riven gonna be the ban here for NIU, and then it'll be a ban towards the side of Fury with the Viego. Tonight is going to be a solo cast for me. One thing that is a little bit of a change as we get a Tom Kench ban here over what you guys saw in that pre-roll video here is that we are not there. There's an extra game now. So one of our matches, originally scheduled for, I believe it was March 8th against Central Michigan in League of Legends, got rescheduled to this Friday at 7 p.m. And so with that, we do very likely have a couple of our substitute players going to be coming in for that game based on the timing of when it was rescheduled and everything. And so with that, Jacob is actually working with the team a little bit here tonight to be ready to go when we have that match on Friday, since he'll likely be in. We're just going to lock in the Corky for the side of not Northeastern, Kent State, my apologies. And NIU going to answer that with the Ezreal. And hovering here, the Skarner for Fury, something that he's been pretty comfortable playing. And as you see there, Fury right up front, he's making his decision, and he's going to lock on in that Skarner for himself. As you can see, across the board, about a 19.1% presence and a 49% pick ban or win rate here, I should say. Now, we don't have the data for this Xin Zhao, but Landolph the Unwise is going to be piloting that one there for the side of Kent State. And I main William in the mid lane. Going to be picking up the Gragas here. So we'll have to see how these ones shape out. Corky more than likely going to be the 80 carry here for the side of Kent State. Whereas NIU, we'll see what they want to answer here into that Gragas and the Xin Zhao. Looks like they're going to take their time here, kind of discussing the pick. And we shall see, as that is going to be Syndra locked in. The overlay, there you go. So yeah, the overlay I was looking at took a little bit of update there, but it is indeed the Syndra that gets picked up here for the side of NIU, something that they've played both with and against pretty commonly here throughout the season. So no strangers to that one as we go. Likely jungle, ADC, and mid taken for both of these teams, I would guess. Maybe the Gragas going up towards the top lane for the side of Kent State. So it might be solo lanes unanswered here from either side. NIU taking down that Maokai, whereas the Darius that we've seen Swolpingu play a couple times so far this season is going to be banned away from the side of the Huskies. So we will have to see Swolpingu go on something a little different here. And now kind of pinching that support champ pool with the Nautilus ban as well. Should call out here that All Calamity is up in Challenger, so congrats to him on that for this season. So NIU looks like they might want to pinch his champ pool just a little bit as we go. Darren also going to be banned away, so taking away those two, the big beefy bruiser brothers up in the top lane from the side of Kent State. And we will see where NIU elects to go with this one. Looks like Poppy is going to be the hover. Almost certainly going to be the top lane Poppy here. Potentially could be a support, but we'll have to see. And there is the Poppy locked in. So that could be Swolpingu piloting that one. I'd imagine it likely will be, but we'll have to see if NIU might be cooking something up here in that one. Swain going to be the hover here for the side of Kent State. So a lot of beefy champions here already locked in from the side of Kent State. And historically, that has been the focus from this team. We've seen a lot of compositions where they play a lot of tanks and really play some front to back around their 80 carry. And here might be just that, a protect the Corky comp. We talked about it on Saturday that Corky definitely has that early game priority. And so, yeah, pair that with a Karma and you get a very heavy lane bully. Um, so we'll have to see. That's another enchanter for a Calamity. And yeah, that's going to be a Mordekaiser hover. So it looks like NIU might have baited out a potential counter pick here, giving themselves the opportunity for that one. Poppy could potentially be the support. And yes, with the Mordekaiser locked in, that's going to be the Mordekaiser top lane. You have to imagine for Swolpangu. And that is a lot of magic damage from the soul lanes coming out here for NIU between the Mordekaiser and the Syndra. Whereas on the side of Kent State, you're looking at that might be a swing towards the mid lane for I made William, which is a little bit of an interesting pick. Uh, they'll have until 20 seconds to make any trades that they decide to make, but I believe that is going to be the choices here. And indeed it is. So Gragas and Mordekaiser up in the top lane, Zinzao Skarna as the jungler, Swain and Syndra as the mid lane matchup, Corky Karma against Ezreal Poppy in the bot lane. So we'll have to see how this one plays out. Both these teams looking to be aggressive, you have to imagine. And go ahead and say goodbye to the players for a little bit as they get into the game. We're going to go ahead and let them do that as we're waiting through that 3-minute delay. So, looking at it, teleports across all the solo lanes, uh, barriers for both these ADCs, heal for Karma, as you see on there, and ignite for the side of the Poppy from Otter here. So, pretty standard picks across the board, and pretty standard rune, or at least summer spell choices. Let's take a look at some of the chat that we're seeing so far. We've got what what is that we've got from Zero? It's some sort of dancing, maybe sock puppet. I'm not 100% sure. Uh, we've got Papalush saying Go Pingu. Uh, Pingu, my top lane goat from Stainless Friend. And welcome into the chat to our coach, Bradley Bebo. Go Huskies. Stream is looking good. Awesome job production. Thank you very much. And we'll pass that along. So, yeah, we should be jumping in the game very, very shortly here. And just about a minute and a half. And then we'll have that ready for you. So, just to give you guys some updates on that schedule. So, tonight we've got this match against Kent State. Tomorrow we're going to have Overwatch, and they will be taking on. It's a great question. Who are they taking on? Let me pull that up for my knowledge, and we will have Bowling Green tomorrow for the Overwatch team. So they'll be live at 7 o'clock here on this channel. Same thing on Friday. We believe we'll be live here for NIU versus Central Michigan in League of Legends. And you don't want to miss that one because I do believe we are lined up to have a special guest caster from the team come in for that matchup. And then they've got multiple games in 24 hours because 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, NIU is right back in action on the League of Legends Summoner's Rift, as they will then be taken on Western Michigan on February 8th at 2 p.m. So, very busy week for us here at NIU Esports. We're going to keep it rolling as we get into game number 1 of this best of 3 series. And historically, these matchups between Kent State and NIU have been pretty darn close. So, I have to imagine that this will be yet another one of those. This time, we're going to make sure that we're lined up with the production. So, um, production, when you are ready, just let me know when you are playing, and we will go ahead and line up that time frame. Okay. Give me a count. Perfect. We are lined up. So, yes, thank you so much, production, for helping me out with that one. NIU looking for their traditional 5-stack, or at least this is yeah, there is a Syndra hanging out a little bit behind. So, we do see Kent State looking for maybe one of these 5 points that they're pretty, a very standard start. NIU looking to see if they might be able to cheese something in the bush. Doesn't look like they'll find any members move towards their blue buff. And yeah, it looks like maybe Xin Zhao might be paying for an invade here as we go. Yeah, that's going to be Xin Zhao. Gragas invading. Looking across the board, NIU also has Mordekaiser and Skarner there. It was just to play some deep vision here, so NIU not quite going to be spotted, but that ward being placed will be spotted here by the ward of Kent State. Not sure that they noticed that it was placed, though, as there were no pings that got dropped onto it, so we'll have to see if they know where each of these teams are. Both teams starting their junglers towards the top side, likely looking for an early pressure on towards the bot lane. Typically been the strategy here, play towards bot, but this is a little bit more of a priority champion, same with the Darius, but we've been seeing Swolpingu put on some priority lately, and so potentially you could see an early gank up towards this top lane, depending on how the matchup is going, and that's a bit of damage going on towards Runis. Swolpingu able to get a nice trade there. Won't really do a whole lot except for get some priority in the lane, but we'll be able to get a nice set of damage on towards the top laner here of Kent State. Looks like Poppy going to be able to secure early vision priority, although there is a deep ward placed in that tri-bush as well. So both these supports just having their vision placed a little bit in towards the river. No clear advantage in that, contrary to what I had mentioned first. Both these junglers looking for a full clear, though. So, and at relatively similar timing for this. So you have to imagine that they're both moving towards a potential 3v3 in the bot lane. It'll really be about who gets there first. And the vision from both these teams should help in that regard, but Xin Zhao will be able to dash over the wall. Now, kind of looks like he was able to leash the red buff, so for a minute I was not sure if he had got that, but Syndra just placing some river vision, and in doing so, there was a lot of respect given towards Chill in there, as now NIU does have vision of the fact that that Xin Zhao is here. NIU is going to be able to rotate Bichel first. Fury's putting some damage down towards Landolf, the Unwise. Won't be able to really get a whole lot out of it, but now they'll continue to just fight this forward. That's going to be Poppy dashing forward. NIU takes the priority, takes first blood over towards the side of Syndra, but there's going to be here and lose the fight 3-2, as that's going to be 2 kills over to the Xin Zhao, 1 over to the Corki. Whereas on the side of NIU, they were able to get 2 kills with no death on towards the Syndra. So gold stays relatively even, a little bit in favor of Kent State, about 1,000 here. But it definitely allows, yeah, that's a full lost chapter on the side of, it's a full lost chapter for the side of the Syndra. Now, I'm going to be here lane ganking his own lane. No flash on the Corki. NIU might be able to grab this. Ooh, the barrier does mean that even if that had landed, it wouldn't have been enough to get the kill, but does force out the barrier, does the side of NIU. And so it will be the summonerless. Or actually, Clarky does have his flash, so just doing a nice job of holding on to that. I was somewhat surprised because I think without that, that barrier was just enough, but I was pretty confident in his own abilities. Dragon is up. It looks like it's Hextech Drake to start us off, and doesn't look like either of these teams is really heavily prioritizing it. As we do see both these junglers up towards the top side, probably going to be the early fight over the Krugs, or not the Krugs, the Grubs, my apologies. Both these top laners do have 6, however, so we'll have to see, as Poppy is also roaming up towards the top lane. Both bot laners of the side of Kent State are now going to be also roaming towards mid, so really it's only Snark down towards the bot lane, and definitely going to see pretty big fight here as B-Chillin with a nice stun, able to prevent the damage from coming through, but B-Chillin still very low and actually is going to be taken out, as is Otter. NIU kind of falling apart on that one, trying a little bit too much or maybe overstaying, imagining that they were going to be able to get out of that one, and instead it is just going to be the priority going over towards the side of Kent State and the kills and the grubs. So 5-2 going to be the kills over towards the side of Kent State. 11, about a 1.6k gold lead, 1.7k gold lead up towards the side of Kent State as well. And that is one fed Swain. So NIU going to have B-Chillin looking to grab some damage on towards that. Not able to do a whole lot except for force him out of the lane. And 2-0-3 with a 100 gold bounty early on in this one is the mid laner for Kent State of iMain William. %, kill participation on the mid AD and support here for the side of Kent State. NIU 2 is a little bit easier to hit, but same thing there. Having that same 100% kill participation on those same 3 lanes. So have to see. Both these top laners haven't quite been able to get involved in the game, as you might expect with top lane early on in the game. And now Swolpingu able to get some damage moving forward. Swain gonna do a lot of damage towards B-Chillin here, and B-Chillin gonna have to just be careful. Fury there to help him out though, so no true threat of a kill. And NIU will just keep on farming, both these teams for that matter, continue to farm and continue to just try to grab some gold to move towards the mid game. Now Swolpingu gonna be able to do a nice job of just zoning the Gragas away from the wave. He has gotten himself a bit of an XP advantage, about the same right now, maybe about a half level ahead, but should be able to continue building that. Does look like first Drake is going to go uncontested over towards the side of Kent State. NIU will try for that with the ultimate here from Ezreal, but not able to find anything off of it. Swain's going to be able to pop his ultimate, and NIU will have to turn this one around. Flash comes through from Swain to avoid the EQ combo of the Syndra, and that unleashed power, not quite going to be enough to get the to lock him down, and so it will just be Drake going over towards the side of Kent State, and we will see the next Drake being a Mountain Drake here in about 5 minutes. Farm in all the lanes pretty even, so there's not really too much of an advantage off of that. It's really just those kills that are making the difference and the slight objective lead. As Jacob has talked about a little bit throughout the first few games of the season, I know there's not as high of a priority on the feats here. As far as you guys can see on your screens, the current feats status, 2 objectives going over towards the side of Kent State. NIU did lose out on the kills feat, so if NIU wants to get those upgraded boots, they're going to need to grab the next 3 objectives as well as first turret. So a little bit of an uphill climb for them, but we'll have to see how they play this one out, or if they just decide that feats really aren't that worth it, and instead they'll just kind of back away. Now, Penn State decided that feats really are worth it for them because they have decided to go for a lane swap. They've moved their bot lane up towards the top side, moved Gragas down towards bot. NIU has answered now that they've found it out. And Kent State has that priority on towards the, not just the top lane, but also towards the grubs. See how NIU wants to go about this, as they don't really have anybody able to get over the wall quite yet. They will get some vision on towards the grubs, and so looks like this could just be a 4v4. NIU only needs to steal 1 to prevent defeat stacking, and instead I think they are just going to go and give it up and give this. They're going to take the kill on towards the swing. No, the healing, the shield and the healing goes through, and NIU just overestimates their damage by just a tiny bit. Double kill over towards the side of Corky. Beach Chillin going to be able to grab some damage back, but in the end, it is just going to be the 2-for-0 in favor of Kent State. And NIU unlucky with that one, as they were probably about 50 damage and some shielding away from grabbing the kill on towards the Swain. And I think from there, they probably would have had the advantage and been able to take the fight. But unfortunately, with Swain surviving, he just was able to drain tank enough to be able to get Kent State back into that fight and eventually towards the win in the fight. And I believe that shield would have come from the from Al Calamity on that Karma, and so that's the power of having that mage or the enchanter support able to grab that shield and get the Swain out of there. So unfortunate for NIU, but again, the gold is only about 2k difference despite being a 5-kill deficit for the Huskies, and with a 250 gold bounty on the side of Corky and a 200 gold bounty on the side of Swain, getting a kill on either of those champions could very likely kind of move this back in a positive direction for the Huskies. So it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility. NIU did grab 1 of the grubs, so they were able to prevent that 6 grub stack, which in and of itself is probably a much stronger buff than the feats. So that's a positive sign for the Huskies. They were able to avoid giving that up, as well as technically the feats are still available, as Penn State was unable to secure the 3 grub take there. So NIU does have the opportunity potentially here to take the next Drake, the Rift Herald, and then the Drake after that, and they would still have the opportunity for feats if they were able to get the first tower. But again, like we mentioned earlier, it might not be necessarily as high of a priority as as we might be making it seem here. So NIU might be looking for a pick on towards the Xin Zhao. He knows that they're there, so he does ping that one out. NIU, I'm not sure, knows that he knows this, and so now it's a bit of a game of chicken, as both of these teams are going to do the dance around the Dragon Pit. We'll see if they're able to grab any damage and such towards it. Porky going to place some vision down, but is going to be forced back towards his own bot side. NIU may just elect to start up this dragon. They do have 4 members and the advantage on that one. Now here comes the teleport from Gragas, so NIU needs to be careful here. They are a bit split off with the Ezreal, and that's going to be the ultimate. The Essence floats over the top. NIU does get Swolpingu on towards the backline. That's going to be the ultimate used by Swolpingu. Let's see if he's able to get the damage on towards the Xin Zhao. He is not. And NIU also loses Beach Chillin on the front side of that fight. They have some health bars here that they could potentially turn this around. That's going to be the ultimate used by the Skarner, but there's no damage coming through from the Ezreal quite yet. And NIU does get one. They get the shutdown on towards from Fury. double kill on towards the Gragas, and unfortunately NIU just didn't have enough damage in that fight. They had the utility, were able to continuously go back into that fight, but the Ezreal just wasn't quite damage heavy enough in that one. And so Drake will go over towards the side of Kent State. The delayed ace will go over towards the side of Kent State, and that will be overall a 5-for-1 in favor of Kent State in that fight. Gold lead has pretty heavily blossomed over the last minute and a half or so. It's now about 4,500 in favor of Kent State. NIU sees that there is going to be the it is going to be Otacon up towards the top lane, and looking at it now, it looks like it might be Ruinous Otacon. We'll have to take a look at that one, but Otacon's pit has spawned up towards the top side, so Otter might be in a bad spot here. He is going to get chained by the Karma here. Damage goes through from the side of Corki, and Corki is going to be able to grab the kill. Now, I made William. Swolpingu is going to try for this one. It is going to be the damage traded back and forth. Better trade for Swolpingu, but NIU once again loses their support up in the top side of the map. Kent State going to go ahead and start up the Rift Herald. I don't believe NIU will have any opportunity to contest this one, so they'll just need to continue to farm up and realistically need to just find a way back into this contest. Getting some picks would certainly help in getting some damage on towards the AD carry. Now we see that this is going to be a gank towards iMain William on the bot side. There's the teleport as well. The ultimate now going to be dropped as he's already been caught in the ultimate, the death realm there from the Mordekaiser. NIU is going to be able to grab a kill towards that mid laner, shut down the Swain. It'll be Rift Herald going over towards the side of Kent State on the opposite side of the map, and NIU will try to grab this tier 1 turret in the bot lane with Swolpingu. In fact, they won't even be able to fully finish that turret as they'll lose their top lane tier 1, and it looks like Herald might be spawned. It's not yet, so potentially Kent State could look to just take this turret and then spawn the Rift Herald afterwards. That's going to be now potentially an overstay, as NIU is able to get the damage on towards Landolph the Unwise. It's going to be the Swolpingu does grab the kill, but that is traded back as there's a kill on towards Snark. Otter is also going to be falling super low. I mean, William going to be taken low and killed off as well. It is a 2-for-2 right now, with both teams having NIU's full bot lane gone, but on the side of Kent State, it's going to be the jungler and mid laner of Landolph the Unwise and I mean William that are going to be the ones to fall. If there's one positive for NIU, it's that we mentioned that maybe their damage was a little lacking during that dragon fight. They're starting to get some damage on towards the Corki, or not the Corki, I apologize, towards the Mordekaiser and the Syndra. Corki being the AD carry on Kent State, and he definitely has some damage, but we'll have to see, as overall NIU has done a nice job of keeping their, despite being down in kills and down in gold, the XP is pretty even at this point, and so NIU will continue to just look for this dragon. 1 minute until the mountain drake spawns. That is going to be the blue buff stolen away by the side of Kent State. And let's see if Swolpingu is looking for a kill here on towards Ruinous. Does look like the two of them are just going to try to keep each other in the lane. Landolph the Unwise going to be found with the Q and Unleash Power combo, as now I want to say Unleash Power is the ultimate. My apologies, but the forgetting all of a sudden the Syndra ability names. So my apologies. With the Dark Sphere and Scatter the Weak, my apologies. As now this is going to be a fight towards the mid lane. Kent State is going to be able to start this one off with the damage, but the NIU follows it up with the ultimate on toward, or from Skarner. There's the damage. Skarner will fall, and NIU needs to be able to get the turnaround. Runus is able to find himself a rampage as El Calamity was in the Death Realm with the Mordekaiser, but it didn't matter in the end as there just wasn't enough damage on that top laner. And Kent State will find themselves 3 kills out of the engage. NIU will only find 1, and with Voracious Otacon, my apologies, being the one that has spawned, that's the one that gives you the mini Guardian Angel, and so that's not Mountain Drake at all. That is a Chemtech Drake, and for some reason Spectator was showing me that Mountain was going to be the next one. My apologies. I should have known when I saw the blast plants. Well, the Chemtech Drake, which is the Soul, will be the one going over towards the side of Kent State. They'll find themselves on Soul Point. They'll also find themselves up 11 kills and about 8,500 damage, or 8,500 gold, my apologies. And so they're definitely ahead in this one by quite a bit. They have the priority. NIU, yet to take a turret, yet to take any sort of advantage across the map. And does look like things might continue in that direction as Kent State looking to potentially start up this Voracious Otacon. Definitely an objective that you want to find the right timing for, as we talked about over the weekend, because, you know, you take it at the wrong time and you can't get the right value out of forcing a fight for it. Now, Kent State started up the mid push, and NIU had to respect that, and instead now it is just Kent State dropping the Rift Herald and deciding to go towards the Voracious Otacon here. Theory on the Skarner will finish up that recall, so it does look like he's gonna just leave this one. NIU will try for a steal with the ultimate here from the Ezreal. Not going to find it with the True Shot Barrage. And so it will be Voracious Otacon going over towards the side of Kent State. And realistically, that's all you could do if you're NIU, is just try for a Miracle Steal. Not able to find it. And Beachillin will finally grab the turret gold, as NIU will break their first one in that mid lane. But again, now the onus is on Kent State. They can really force a fight that they like with that Voracious Otacon buff, and so NIU needs to play a little bit carefully here, continue to farm up, and just grab some of these waves as they crash. Looks like NIU kind of has an idea where Kent State is playing towards, but not really able to answer at this point. Snark going to have to be careful here. He is being ganked. He does have the dash over the wall, able to use it, but it doesn't matter, as Snark just going to be caught out with the Q, and then the dash from Xin Zhao will be the kill going over towards the side of Kent State. And now Beachillin under threat of a dive from this Gragas, as and are you just looking to survive through some of this Otacon buff? Looks like, my apologies, I didn't realize that False Life does not have a cooldown, so I mean, you can't just wait it out like you can Elder Dragon buff. Now, this is full Pingu. He's going to be tossed back in with the barrel toss there from the explosive cast, my apologies, from the side of Gragas. Nice scatter of the weak. Able to take the side of Kent State kind of low and just clear out one of these waves. But now Kent State, again, has the Otacon, so they'll just continue to push in on this one. And NIU needs to be able to clear this wave. They're starting to be able to do so finally, but the damage is just not there, especially through the Karma, able to shield up everybody for the side of Kent State here, and doing a nice job of that as the damage comes through. Now, Swolpingu going to be caught up, and he's going to be killed by the Corki. The explosive cast back already, able to just knock the Mordekaiser back in towards the fight, and immediately you see Karma pinging on towards the Baron, and so it does look like that's going to be what the side of Kent State prioritizes next. That's going to spawn in just about 5 seconds, so they'll reset and look for Baron. NIU may just have to try to trade this for Dragon. The timing is pretty nice for Kent State in that they should be able to layer the two and make their way down towards the Dragon before they go towards Baron. But looking at it, it does look like, despite the pings, they Kent State, that is just going to go ahead and move on down towards the Dragon. They've decided the Soul, especially Chemtech Soul, is going to be more important than the Baron in this case. Snark going to be caught again, but able to be able to just dash back to safety. And NIU just going to try to grab some poke on towards this wave, as they don't have their Mordekaiser here at this point. Now they're going to be able to rotate him down, but Dragon positioning does go over towards the side of Kent State. Looks like NIU may just have to cede this one, and indeed, they're just going to go ahead and look for some poke damage. Now they decide to go forward, as they're not really going to be able to grab anything, so this is going to be a last-ditch attempt. That's a nice job of buffering the explosive cask by Snark, but unfortunately, it's just too much damage from the side of this Corki and the side of Kent State as a whole. NIU going to lose everybody here. Snark just barely, nope, not going to be able to survive. That's going to be another kill going over towards Landolf the Unwise, and Mordekaiser of Swolpangu is going to be able to stay alive, but it won't matter, as that is going to be the inhibitor number 1 over towards the side of Kent State. They don't need another one. They'll start taking the Nexus turrets. 24/7 is how often Kent State was winning this one, and also going to be the kills at the end of this one. 12K going to be the goal disadvantage, and Kent State will take game number 1 and over the Huskies. Looking at some of those, if we can pull up the post-game graph when you get the chance, I'm not thinking it's going to be very pretty, but I'd like to take a look at it still. So as we get that pulled up, NIU obviously not able to get the early game priority that they were looking for. This Karma proving to be a problem, as it could heal and shield the entire team, and especially into some of those heavy frontline compositions that you get from the side of Kent State. Proved to be a little too much for NIU here. Now, damage-wise, that's not too bad. I thought that it would be a little more lopsided than that. Unfortunately, just the Zinzao being more of a damage carry in this case, instead of the Skarner, which is a little more of a tanky utility type of jungler. It unfortunately meant that that's just where double the damage came through. You see a lot of damage from Corki, and I guess the tail of the tape is just that gold lead, especially around 14 minutes. I mean, it's sitting at around 2,000 up until 14 minutes, and after that point is when things started to blossom pretty heavily in favor of Kent State. So GG's in game 1 over to the Golden Flashes. NIU going to have to look for a reverse sweep if they want to take this series, starting with game 2 here. So we'll come back in just a minute with that one, but we're going to send you guys to a quick break. As give me just a second, and then yeah, we're gonna get you guys on a quick 3-minute ad break to make sure that anybody that joins after here is not going to be subject to that break. And so we will get you guys going on that. My apologies. I did not need to do that way. So you guys might just be coming back from a break. My apologies, but that's okay, as we will see you guys for game number 2 very shortly.
fight to break their spine and reclaim what once was mine. Those cravens backstabbed me, deceived me. Never shall I tolerate their crimes again. Now let the hunt begin. Oh, 7,000 souls scared and daunted, such a tale of woe. Not too long ago, this village was a golden scene of hope. Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our Gloria to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order. I am the light bringer. Fellow warriors, I ask you, should my campaign come to an end? There's way more to avenge. Oh, 15 million souls living in this realm without much hope. Not too long ago, this kingdom was a golden state of hope. Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our Gloria to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power. Lead us to order.
And when you're ready. All right. And welcome back, everybody. Back in the champ select for game number 2 here of NIU versus Kent State. NIU moving over towards the blue side this time. So we'll have to see if that changes up the band pattern and the picks at all. NIU going to take the ribbon off the board once again. Then the Rumble going to be the answer again from the side of Kent State. So far, nothing changed. Different sides of the map, but no change in that one. Galio going to be banned from the side of NIU. We'll see what Kent State decides to do here. It's going to be once again towards the Viego. And we'll see where they finalize these bans. Will it be the Karma? Will it be moving in a different direction here from the side of NIU? Perhaps they feel like they have, if they can get priority on a certain champion, they can take it. And that's why they're looking for the blue side. So we'll see where they want to go with this one. 2 seconds, and it's going to be the Gragas. So they felt that the Gragas here from Lunas was one of the strong and difficult picks there. Corky going to be the ban from the side of Kent State. I wonder if that's kind of where the direction of going on the blue side was headed, trying to get that Corky for Snark in the bot lane. And IU, if that was their plan, we'll have to pivot a little bit here. And we'll see where they decide to go instead with this one. Ezreal once again going to be the lock-in, which does make me wonder if that was indeed going to be the Corky here. And unfortunately, Kent State figured it out and decided to ban it away. So you never know. Could be something a little bit different there. And we're going to see jungler here of Landolph the Unwise going back towards the side of that Xin Zhao. So far, no changes despite the different picks and bans. And there's going to be our first change, and that is going to be a Victor going on towards the mid lane here of Kent State. And while the abilities got very slight changes, it's really the visuals that changed with Arcane. So unfortunately, for those of you that haven't watched Arcane yet, this is your spoiler alert that Victor looks different. NIU? Looking for a Vi. Wow, yeah. Fury gonna pick up the Vi here. Different champion than, it's got a lot more of a bruiser style. I do wonder if that's for Fury or if that's maybe I would have to imagine it has to be instead of a lane Vi, but definitely a different look. And you have to wonder if maybe NIU is going to look to play towards the top side here because that Aatrox is definitely the Vi Aatrox combo. That is a lot of resources that go towards the top side of the map here from the side of NIU. And so I like this from the Huskies. It's a different look. Gives NIU the opportunity to maybe, instead of playing towards the bot side like they did earlier on today in game 1, this time they play towards the top side a little bit more. Tomcatch going to be picked up here. Do wonder if that is for the top lane and answer in towards the Aatrox. Could potentially be the support as well. Maybe a Senna TK. I mean, if you're going that direction, you have to imagine that now is a weird time to pick it, considering that you could ban away the Senna part if that's really where you think they're headed with this. Morgana going to be the ban, though, from the side of Kent State, preventing NIU from picking that. Maybe it's really just the Black Shield. If the side of NIU is maybe looking for more CC on towards these champions, then the Morgana would, would be what you'd want there for the for that. Looking at it, thank you, Jimmy, for the subscription with Prime, and shout out to my boy Ethan. They do Fortnite TikToks. Okay. Well, thank you to Jimmy. Looking at it though, it's gonna be the Lux and Swain banned away, so we will, as well as the Poppy. So we will see some different picks here towards the end, and that's gonna be a Rise Rise picked up? Surely this isn't a Victor bot lane or Victor top with a Rise mid? Now I'm confused. And this is where having Jacob here as a casting partner to be able to understand this might be helpful. NIU will lock in. There was that hover of the Mel, but they're going to go the Anivia, um, possibly thinking that the Rise is going to be answered by that Anivia. So uh, I was interested there. As yeah, here we go with the NIU's final pick. So it's definitely a different type of composition. Leona gonna be the hover here. So that Leona Ezreal definitely gives them some ability to just kind of sit back and look for the full engage. I like this for NIU. It does really indicate that they're looking for a top lane or top side focus. And yeah, with the Camille here being the hover, yeah, this is going to be Victor TK as the bot lane and Rise going to be the mid laner here with, or maybe, hold on, let's see where this goes. Okay, yeah, that's what I would have thought. The Camille, Aatrox, Vi, Zinzao, Anivia, Rise, Ezreal, Victor, Leona, Tahm Kench. Um, Quite a bit of magic damage on the side of Kent State here. Not a lot of range though. I mean, you got Rise and Victor, they're both ranged champions, but they don't have the ranged DPS that an ADC kind of provides. But with the Ezreal being a little more poke heavy as well, maybe that's not as important here. Welcome to the chat, Weeb Jelly as well. So in Allegro, uh, yes. So stream is on a 3-minute delay itself. Um, the The stream itself is on a 3-minute delay. Actually, that's one too many minutes anyway, so it's not a big deal. The reason being that as long as we are 2 minutes behind the real time, the game will add 3 minutes, and that brings us to 5. So we don't need 3 full minutes, unlike Overwatch, because Overwatch doesn't have a built-in delay. So thank you for bringing that to our attention, Allegro. However, it is a it is all good in that way. We'll go ahead and we've got our 2.5 minutes of figuring out how this game's going to go. NIU, while it's a different composition for them than they've played so far, this is a very different type of composition than is standard for the side of Kent State. So very interested to see how that plays out. Um, Definitely an odd style. I'm kind of just watching what you guys are seeing here at what is live when I say it, but is not necessarily live itself. Um, and it looks like kind of across the board, maybe there was some adverse reactions to that lock. Maybe kind of like a, huh, I wonder what they were doing there. But yeah, we'll definitely see how this one goes as we go ahead. 1 minute 30 seconds before we get into game number 2. Again, this one being a best of 3. If NIU is able to take it, we will go to a sudden death game number 3. So hopefully we get there. Um, the more League of Legends we get to see this week, the better I feel about it all. We've got, obviously, like I said, we've got another match tomorrow of Overwatch. That one's going to be against against. Why do I keep forgetting this? Overwatch will be playing Bowling Green tomorrow. And then NIU versus Central Michigan on Friday in League of Legends. That's 7 o'clock for both those matches. And then at 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, NIU League of Legends will be taking on Western Michigan as well. So, all right, we are 30 seconds away from getting into game here in game number 2. And just like last time, we're gonna, hopefully get the timing right. So Prod, let me know when we are when we're loaded in and what we're looking at. Um, across the board, that is a lot of teleports. That is 3 teleports on each team, which is overall exactly what Riot was trying to avoid when they changed teleport again. And it doesn't matter because the mobility is that important across the board that yet again, teleport reigns supreme. So, uh, support or sorry, 80 top lane for both teams, mid lane for both teams, ADC for both teams going to be taking the teleport, heal for the Leona, ignite for the Tom Kenshire of Alcalamity. Looking at the runes there as well, as you guys see, Conqueror on Aatrox and Vi, Electrocute on Anivia, Conqueror on Snarks, Ezreal here, and then Leona going to be taking the Guardian, or the Aftershock, my apologies. It's going to be Grasp of the Undying for the Camille, Conqueror for Xin Zhao. We're going to see Phase Rush for the Rise as a standard, Summon Airy for Victor, and Tom Kench taking the Grasp of the Undying. All right. Oh. Oh. All right. So, did look like NIU started for a 5-stack there, or started to maybe try for invade there. Didn't grab anything out of it. This is some deep vision placed though by Xin Zhao, and it is looking like Xin Zhao is going to try and take the blue buff here. We might see some vertical jungling depending on if NIU can answer this with their Vi, knowing that they do have wards kind of all over for the side of Kent State. So I'm looking at 153 as we go, and that's going to get us, as Tom Kench just goes for a tongue lash, able to land that on towards Otter. And both of these teams just, looking to vertical jungle here and really split the map. Vi, we're going to see an engage here from NIU. Able to grab the damage and forcing the flash off of Alcalamity. Nice job by Snark and Otter finding the timing there, knowing that they had the level 2 advantage and just going in. Now, TK really isn't in danger of dying any longer, but forcing the flash, and with the fact that the vertical jungling allows for Vi to be down here, this could potentially spell a secondary engage for the side of NIU, especially with that the flash already off of the Tom Kench. So we'll have to see how they want to answer this one. Vi starting to go onto the Gromp, so we'll get our answer very shortly here. And looks like, Vi just going to walk away from this, go ahead and grab the Raptors. So NIU not able to really find an advantage off of it, but able to kind of get the idea and have an early advantage and early summoner spell advantage at that. So Swolpingu, nice trade there, using the sweet spots on the Q to be able to grab some damage up towards this Camille. Camille does get level 4 first, just barely, as Swolpingu able to grab the minion for that one. And now we'll see if Xin Zhao is looking for the engage on this. Nope, does just walk towards the back towards the crab, seeing if he might be able to trade that. And I can get some vision here. Knows that he's working on that scuttle crab, and so they'll go ahead and just know that this is still the Xin Zhao on the top side of the map. Theory able to do a nice recall, grab a couple of long swords and a vision ward, or a control ward. So nicely done. Now we're going to see the same exact purchase over towards the side of Xin Zhao. So both these junglers just mirroring exactly what the other is doing. And overall, not a whole lot of priority going towards either of these teams early on. So for NIU, that's probably quite a relief in that way, in that last game, they definitely had themselves at a bit of a disadvantage at that point in the game. Now, Runas taken kind of low here. Swolpingu has the engage potential, but knows that the passive there for Camille could be back very shortly. Will elect to just back away from it. And does have the Vi here, so we'll see if he's able to use the Q. Yeah, that's going to be Runas taken somewhat low. That's hook shot, able to be used to get out of this, and NIU won't be able to answer. Just enough vision from the side of Kent State to be able to get their top laner escaped out of this one, but NIU able to force Runas out of the lane. Now, this does give the side of Kent State the advantage as they move towards this dragon, potentially. And he knows that Xin Zhao is here. On the flip side, the side of Kent State does have knowledge that Vi is in that mid lane. Runas just using the hook shot to get out of the chains. The umbral chains, I believe that is. And so nicely done by NIU, able to force that one away. Now, Xin Zhao has started up the objective. Swolpingu going to be taken very low. He's going to have to trade ults here. Is he going to be able to get the damage? The sweet spots. Flash comes through from Runas. This is going to be very close, and it looks like we're going to see the trade back. Now, flash forward. I mean, Williams. Yeah, Fury almost able to land that Q with the flash, but not finding it. And so it will be the dragon going over towards the side of Kent State. NIU will elect to just trade that with the grubs here. Keep wanting to say Krugs, and that's not the case, but with the grubs here. So NIU now just needs to be careful as their bot lane is in a position to potentially get dove here. So Otter standing back, doing a nice job of just letting Snark potentially get enough on this wave to get 6. Does do enough to clear out the wave and just prevent any dive here that that Landolph the Unwise and his bot lane were trying to set up. So 10 minutes, or 7 minutes in the game, my apologies, and 10,000 is the gold for both these teams. Very even so far. Overall, no real advantage in this game so far. I mean, William taking kind of low here. The damage from the Anivia, going to be able to use his double Q and E to get out of that one is Rise, and so that's going to be enough to just walk away. But neither of these teams really finding any advantage early game here, and NIU actually just barely finding about a 500 gold advantage now. So looks like they, yeah, I'm not sure where that's coming from in necessarily. I guess it's a 10 gold or a 10 CS advantage up towards the top side. But yeah, overall, both these teams just content with farming up and getting towards late game. I think neither one of these comps necessarily has a huge scaling advantage. Both like to scale, but we'll certainly have to see how this one plays out as we go. Beats definitely still on the table for both these teams, each of them sitting on 1 stack of the objective feats. No kills so far. Runas gonna be taken low. Ooh, hook shot just barely lands, was nearly pulled back, and I think if that had been maybe a pixel later, you know, he would have been pulled back on that one. Now Xin Zhao is here. Anivia also roaming. Fury going to be in a duel with Landolph the Unwise. That's the hook shot over the wall, but there's going to be the flash forward from Anivia. First blood goes over towards B Chillin. Now NIU is here. I mean William going to be taken low. This has been traded. Flash forward, double kill over towards B Chillin, and now a triple kill over towards the Anivia, and NIU finds themselves the feat, finds themselves the fight, and finds themselves on the board in this one. Really nicely done by NIU, able to roam the mid lane up earlier, and now, oh, nicely done. Otter sidestepping that I want to say depth of voyage. It's not depth of voyage though. I'm thinking of dredge line for whatever reason. That is going to be the abyssal dive thing. Thank you. And so, yeah, we're going to go ahead and grab that one, and that is a full Rout of Ages finished up by Anivia here. Also has the tier and starting to stack that. So Rise and Anivia with very similar builds, but Beach is certainly ahead in this build path. Also, getting to see a full pickaxe and the tunneler on the Aatrox here for Swolpingu. And, you know, the Sheen should be a pretty nice item for Camille. But I want to say that pickaxe and tunneler together are a more powerful combo for this Aatrox. Nicely done, able to find the W. And just trading the damage here, definitely has a strong understanding of this champion and able to prioritize it here. So we'll see where each of these teams want to go next. Both objectives spawning in just a few, just about 40 seconds here on the Dragon, whereas on the side of the Grubs, we're looking at about 20 seconds. NIU gonna go for this one. Hookshot does get out there, so Meal not going to be able to be found. Beachillin is going to be ganked, but does have Agnivia available. Now, this is the ultimate here from the True Shot Barrage from Ezreal. Going to go up the lane and through the river. Now, NIU does just move the Vi back off of this one. Beachillin, kind of a rough spot. The hookshot does land, though. And so that'll be damage on towards Anivia. NIU might lose the Anivia in towards Egg. Yes, she has fallen to the Egg, but NIU does have Leona here. This is going to be traded back, and that's going to be one kill over towards the side of the Huskies. Landolf is going to fall as well. Now, everybody's here for the side of Kent State, and this could be advantage towards Kent State, considering that they have gotten so much damage on towards this Aatrox. They indeed will find the fight, and unfortunately NIU just didn't have the teleport on Snark to answer the one from the Victor here, and so that's really what turned the fight in favor of Kent State. But overall, you get the damage on the champions that you really want it on. Unfortunately, you do lose the Anivia egg for the time being, but Anivia up to 3-1-2, and Victor sitting on 1-0-3, so is at a bit of a scary point, but NIU now going to look to see if they can get this Dragon and even out the Dragon stacking for each of these teams. 5-5 the kills, so almost certainly going to see Voracious Otacon once again, and Grub's going to be traded 3 for each team as well. So neither of these teams necessarily has the advantage in the objective feat. It is going to be, I guess, both teams looking at 2 of each of those. NIU does have the advantage in terms of they were the ones to be able to get the kills one. So does look like Kent State going to look for the turret up towards this top side, try to rush this down. They've already started on their rotation to try to just overpower and lane swap to try to get this first brick. Now, Rise just steps out of the bush early enough, does Leona, to force that. Now, turret plating is going to fall. Yeah, looks like the Tom Kench has recalled, so that is going to prevent the side of Kent State from grabbing this top lane turret right away. And so we'll have to see where NIU wants to continue to focus this. Nice damage from Snark on towards Runus, just able to hit a couple of Qs there. And continue to put damage on towards the turret, as that is going to be another turret play. That's ultimate used. Tom Kench is here too. This is going to be Snark needing to play a little safe here. Just not able to get enough of a dodge there. Calamity playing that really well. Able to get the kill on towards the NIU ADC in Snark. However, NIU does get their laners there to be able to prevent any further damage from coming through. So, doesn't look like any turret is going to fall at this point. NIU getting a bit of a chip damage on towards each of these tier 1 turrets in the mid and the bot lane. Whereas bot lane tier 1 for the side of NIU, probably half HP. Same thing on the top side as well. So that's really where this race, as well as the objective, kind of comes down to. So NIU has 2 chances at the feats. Again, not as important as you know, some of the other objectives on the map. But NIU does get 2 chances, whereas the side of Kent State is forced to get both. So now here's going to be the ultimate. The Vault Breaker comes through from the side of NIU. The stun, Fury is going to fall as the damage just gets turned around from the Victor, but NIU will grab the kill on towards the Victor as well, and we'll see how they want to continue to force this forward. B Chillin does have 11, going to force the hook shot or the hook shot out from Camille. And able to land the stun. Now the ultimate does get dropped. Runa's going to have to flash to get out of that ultimate here as well. And so NIU going to be continuing to go on this. Alcalamity will find some damage on towards Snark. Snark going to have to be careful as the ultimate is available. There's going to be the stun. The Leona is here, but is it going to be enough? That's going to be the ultimate dropping from Leona. NIU might be able to grab this. Oh no, Runas. Nicely done with the hook shot into the W over the wall. I know you didn't expect it, and so it will be Snark falling for the second time in the game. And NIU needs to find a way to avoid losing one of these turrets, as it does look like, yeah, they're going to end up losing the first turret as well. So it really is going to come down to if NIU is able to take this Rift Herald. Looks like both teams going to back away from it. Okay. As there we go. NIU going to go in for this one. They're going to find the kill on towards the Victor. Nicely done stacking the CC. And I think with that, NIU might be able to secure themselves the Rift Herald. They're going to go ahead and start it up. Xin Zhao will be over the wall. And no, Kent State just going to start the recalls here. They'll complete Rise's recall. They'll complete all of their recalls, and Rift Herald and Feats going to go over to the Huskies on this one. A really nice pick to set that up. And the Huskies will find themselves with an advantage, especially with this Anivia from B Chillin, sitting at 4-1 and 2, 7 stacks on the Rod of Ages, at a point where with this champion in that spot, NIU can definitely start to snowball off of it. It will continue to scale. And now this is going to be hookshot forward. Runas doing quite a bit of damage on towards Swolpingu, but Swolpingu, now the dive, nicely done. Able to use the ultimate, the Hextech Ultimatum, to prevent the Vault Breaker from, or that was not Vault Breaker, the dash from landing for Vi. Damage, not enough. NIU going to be able to save the Anivia after the egg. And now Runas might find himself trapped, as there is the damage from Fury and from Swolpingu here. They're going to be able to grab that one. NIU will even up the kills at 8. They'll even up the gold at pretty much exact gold each side. And they will continue to push their lead here, or their slight lead, I should say. Their lead being that they have one more person on the map right now. But they could parlay that into Dragon potentially. They'll instead look to maybe try for this mid lane tier 1 turret. And Ezreal doing some damage now. Nicely done. Able to find the stun. That's going to be Main William falling. Ezreal going to have to be careful. Nicely done to sidestep the W there from Xin Zhao. And it will be NIU taking the Rise's life and moving on towards this Chemtech Drake. And potentially setting themselves up with the Drake stacking here 2-1, with Chemtech being the soul once again. Yeah, uncontested. There's going to be no way for the side of Kent State to get back into this one, or to get back into this dragon fight, I should say. Certainly ways for them to get back into this game. But Aatrox now going to go ahead and try to get the tier 1 turret in the bot lane for the side of NIU. Rise going to look to answer, so we'll have to see how quickly Aatrox is able to take this one. But overall, NIU finds themselves with the outer two tier 1 turrets taken, and a nice early mid-game advantage here for the Huskies. Otacon going to spawn in about 10 seconds here on the top side of the map, and looks like inside positioning currently going over towards the side of Kent State, but neither team really trying to position for this one. It is voracious once again, so we are still going to see the mini Guardian Angel for the side of, or not for the side of, but from which Otacon we're seeing. NIU might look to start this up, at least grabbing some of the void, or not the void, the blood roses here, and potentially looking for a pick on towards Vrunus. Does see it, but instead they're just going to go ahead and start up this voracious Otacon. NIU needs to be careful though, as they will have first rotation from the mid lane, but it is going to be the side of Kent State getting there first. Now, NIU just does look to turn on that one, but that might be a rough choice as Fury is going to fall first. Swolpingu taken low, but still does have ultimate. He's going to be killed off as NIU does get Runus on the backside, but it is going to be now William taken low. He's going to have to flash away. NIU will lose the Voracious Otacon, but they might be able to get some additional kills. Not able to do so. It'll be a 2-for-1 in favor of Kent State. They'll grab the objective, and they will get out everybody except for their Camille. Again, for NIU, though, look at who was able to survive that fight. The two champs that you want to be jumping into the front line and really, tanking up the damage and trying, if they fall, that's kind of okay because they're the frontliners here, are going to be the two that fell, and the Anivia, who you want to survive and continue to scale, now able to finish off the Seraphs and the Rod of Ages. So also sitting on a needlessly large rod, so almost certainly going to be looking to scale off of this 6-1 and 2 already, and maybe working towards a Rabadon step cap. Does have 2 stacks in the Dark Seal, as this is an Anivia that if you can continue to put Prio into, can definitely start to wreak havoc on the game, even more so than is already happening. Kent State doing a nice job of just creating vision and creating space for themselves. Now, this is going to be the stun towards Snark, and he is just deleted from the map, but that's going to be All Calamity taking quite a bit of turret damage. Has to use the thick skin here. NIU might be able to pop him. Yeah, they are able to grab that one, so his Otacon buff does go out the wayside here. NIU won't get a whole lot of gold for killing him, but they will be able to just at least prevent him from holding on to that any longer. And it does give them inside positioning on this dragon that spawns in just about a minute. Obviously, he's back on the map already, but NIU able to take this time to clear out some of the vision, get some priority of their own around the objective. And now they'll just push the lanes and then recall and reset for themselves. Dragon now spawning in about 40 seconds, so gold lead about 1,000 in favor of Kent State. Same thing with the kills. It's about it is a 1 kill lead for Kent State. We do see that Runus' topside does have teleport available. Same with the Rise, but Rise is already there for the fight. Looks like teleports. Every teleport except for Victor's in the game is currently not on cooldown, is currently available to use, so we will likely see a large fight break out over this next dragon. And you will clear out the mid lane tier 1 turret, so they'll have that advantage. Now be chillin', let's be careful. The Xin could potentially dive towards him, not going to do so, as that's going to be the stun pit, the ultimate from Rise. It's going to split off NIU, and nicely done to be able to split people away, as that is the damage. NIU able to get the shutdown on towards the Victor. William also going to fall. Swolpingu will be able to grab that one. Be chillin', going to survive on the backside, and this is just a triple kill over towards the side of Swolpingu on this Aatrox. Snark and Fury will go ahead and grab the damage on towards this dragon. Swolpingu wants the 4th kill. He wants that Quadra, and so he's going to go ahead and keep following on this one. Runus doesn't want to give it over lightly, and may do some damage here. Now, that's going to be the sweet spot. Nicely done to be able to land that. Not able to dash that one, and actually Hextech, or not Hextech Ultimatum, but Hookshot will mean that the Aatrox not going to be able to kill Runus on this Camille. Doesn't matter for NIU, as they're going to go ahead and run straight towards the Baron. They'll start this one up. They'll get themselves the... they've already gotten themselves their third Drake. They'll continue to do the damage to this objective, and they'll take that one. Fury going to have to be careful, though, because he's been taken pretty low by this objective. Needs to be the one to not tank it, and yeah, he's going to fall to it. Not able to get the priority on, or the damage traded over, and so now NIU needs to recall, but the Tahm Kench is here, able to get the Tongue Lash on towards Be Chillin', but not on towards anybody else. Everybody else will recall, and the side of Kent State will just back away from this one. They'll clear the top side jungle for the side of NIU, but overall, NIU will take that trade. They'll take the Baron on 4 members of the team, and they'll take not having to give over any gold off of that Death for Fury, since it was an accidental execute from the jungler here of NIU. You could see that Otto was trying to get the dragon to trade or the Baron to trade aggro, so I'm not sure why it never did, but it was just one auto attack from the Baron too much for Fury. NIU might be looking to grab a pick on towards Camille. They have 3 members down towards that bot side, actually 4, and now they'll continue to just clear out this wave in the bot side. Looks like they'll clear out everything here on the bot side, including the jungle camps, and so that's kind of the... Yeah, NIU going to be doing a nice job of just shoving in this bot lane, and nobody, or not enough people on the side of Kent State answering this right now, as Xin finally does roam over, but that's going to be their inhibitor turret that does fall in favor of the Huskies. Now, not a whole lot that they can do. They don't really have much wave clear outside of the Rise, and so he's going to have to stick mid while Aatrox just continues to push that. That's going to be the kill going over towards Snark, on towards the Victor. NIU might just continue to push this objective forward. Now Rise is going to have to roam over. It will mean the tier 2 in the mid lane does fall to Aatrox, and NIU just continuing to push this advantage and siege down these turrets, seeing as they have the Baron objective and doing exactly what you want them to do with that buff. They're going to go ahead and keep on pushing forward on towards this mid lane inhibitor turret, and they will have that super low. Swolpingu now going to be in a fight with the Camille. Doesn't really matter, as El Calamity going to have to use the ultimate there to protect his Xin Zhao. Flashes and W's forward on towards Otter. The stun does come through. Now that's a nice wall. What a wall by Anivia. Victor is here, does teleport in. That's going to be the double stun. And now, NIU might lose Otter for this. We'll have to see. Be Chillin' is going to fall as the Hextech Ultimatum does land on towards him. So, a nice fight in the end by Kent State. They will grab 2 out of it. Fury going to have to be careful because Tahm Kench is also here. NIU does not want to overstay on this one, and they will be able to recall the remaining 3 members, but that is a lot of the Baron buff taken off. Time was going to mean that it would expire anyway very shortly, but yeah, NIU might have overstayed just a little bit. They do get 2 inhibitors taken down here, 1 in the mid and 1 in the bot lane, so you guys will have the timers there on your screen. Now, nice dash backwards for Snark to avoid all calamities. Dash forward, and we do see Dragon going to be spawning in 25 seconds. Nicely done. True Shot Barrage prevents the recall and means that I really don't think the back timings are going to be proper for Kent State to be able to contest this Drake, and more than likely that means that Soul is going to go over towards the side of NIU. The Chemtech Soul, which does spawn in just 3 seconds, so NIU will grab the blue buff. they'll go ahead and move down towards the dragon. They'll start it up. And yeah, I think Kent State's going to try to rush to get here for this, but I don't think they really have the time, and absolutely not. They just elect to back away, and that is going to be the soul going over towards NIU. They'll have the Chemtech soul, and that increased, I believe that's CDR, is it not? It's been a while since I've seen Chemtech soul in my games, I'll be honest. But yeah, they'll be using that objective here. Oh, I've frozen a bit. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Perfect. All right. Yeah, so I jumped back about a couple seconds, but I'm at 30-42 right now. And we are going to see NIU go forward. This is nicely done, knowing where the hook shot was going to go. That's going to now be the ultimate from Vi. It's going to also be the ultimate from Tom Kench, just saving the Camille, but at the cost of their jungler. NIU going to be able to get the knock up here. Flash forward from Fury, going to be able to grab the damage and cancel the Abyssal Voyage. That'll be NIU grabbing 2, now possibly a 3rd, as they're going to grab the kill on towards I-Main William. NIU finds themselves the objective, finds themselves the top lane turret, the tier 2, and more than likely will find themselves the game as up 5 kills. They're going to go ahead and just split this off, make sure that the Victor can't, and the Camille cannot get back to protect their base. NIU will now take B Chillin and Fury. They're going to just keep this recall from happening. Nicely done by Otter, just preventing the recall by the Victor. Doesn't matter if he dies as long as he prevents the recall. And B Chillin does fall. Swolpingu. Oh, NIU. Not quite enough damage. Snark able to grab 1 back. No, actually, the kill went over towards the Anivia of B Chillin. Snark was able to try for that. Abyssal Voyage does go forward. That's going to be the damage on towards Snark. And unfortunately, NIU once again overstayed. So they will take both Nexus turrets. Unfortunately, in the new season, those do respawn. And they'll get aced, unfortunately. But it does look like, in response, that's going to be the Baron going over towards the side of... over towards the side of Kent State. And I've frozen once again. All right. We should hopefully be back pretty shortly here. All right, so if I jump back 15 seconds, will it work? Yes. No. No, it won't. Okay. All right, so 19 to 18 are the kills. We're just waiting on this one to potentially come back. So obviously, we've got a bit of an issue with the game having frozen. And oh my, this is on such a precipice that I do fear that reloading might, the game might be over by that point. So. Oh geez. Yeah, all right. This is a. Okay, perfect. I'm still not, but hopefully soon. All right, I'm just gonna take a look, and I'm gonna watch from our perspective here. And Baron did go over towards the side of Kent State, but NIU, we'll have to see where this goes, as Kent State just looking to hold their mid lane. It really is going to be who's able to take this fight. So if either team is able to get an ace, that would likely be the end here. So we'll have to see how this one plays. NIU That's nice true shot barrage, able to get quite a bit of damage on towards the couple members of Kent State. Kent State does just back away. Seraph's Embrace now finished by Rise, the mid laner here from Kent State. And let's see what happens. I mean, both these teams really just looking for the Elder. Elder going to be spawning in just a little bit here. So, yeah, I'm still out back, so that's okay. And yeah, this one's pretty closely matched. I mean, it really is going to come down to who's able to get one team fight. Yeah, looking at the gold there, pretty darn close. Kent State has managed to even it out down to just a 700 gold lead rather than in the thousands, so almost nothing at 35 minutes. And looking at it as well, this is going to be NIU just kind of clearing out waves. Same thing for Kent State. Really, the big fight is going to be over this Elder Drake. Fury still only level 15 compared to level 16 on the Xin Zhao. And yeah, we're going to see under a minute left before this Elder. NIU not quite in position for it yet, but the inhibitors have respawned for the side of Kent State. NIU, this is a potential pick from Kent State. Nicely done by Fury and Otter to get out of this one. Aatrox's going to roam over. NIU does have Beachillin, who also has Agnivia available at the moment. So True Shot Barrage will not land. NIU just using that to try to zone and try to get positioning for this Elder Dragon. My apologies. Brunus going to be over the wall. NIU doesn't quite have vision of this. Now they did have vision, and so Brunus is just going to be able to use the Blast Cone to get away. Fury, NIU does start this up, and it looks like the side of Kent State might just allow this to happen. It's going to be Elder going over towards the side of NIU, and NIU will look to see if they can follow this up with a fight. They're going to dash forward, flashes forward, and Zenith Blade not going to land on anything. That's going to be the True Shot Barrage does land. That's going to be ultimate from the Vi, able to use that to get the damage on towards the Xin Zhao. Otter's going to be able to grab the kill on that one, and NIU will take that 1-0 and escape with the objective. But now they're going to have to push through the mid lane. The Camille going to be looking to grab something on the back line. NIU elects to just leave her and continue to push. Now, she's going to look to proxy so that they have to end with this wave. If they are going to end, they do take the inhibitor in the mid lane. The ultimate True Shot Barrage not going to land. NIU going to get some damage. Victor going to stay alive. Fury taken low, going to have to flash away. This is going to be Otter, not quite landed with the Abyssal Voyage. Fury goes forward, able to grab some damage, but not enough on towards the Tahm Kench. NIU just continues to pump in the damage. This is going to be Chillin'. That's going to be this execute on towards All Calamity. Runus is on the back line now, and NIU has very little mana, as well as Land Off the Unwise has respawned. So NIU needs to be very careful here. They're going to go ahead and try to grab something on towards Runus. That's going to be Hook Shot. The True Shot Barrage does not land. And now Runus taken low. Beachillin is going to look for the... Ooh, that's the... Oh, the... That's the Maw of Melmortius popped, and that is all of NIU's or most of NIU's damage. Now Fury going to be taken very low. The not enough damage coming through with the Otter's ultimate, and so NIU will lose their jungler and lose their mid laner here for the next 50 seconds with Baron spawning in that time. And once again, Baron is going to go over towards the side of Kent State. And NIU going to have to play on the defensive again, as this is just, it's so back and forth in this one that one objective gets taken by NIU, one gets taken by Kent State. NIU not going to be able to contest this. They do throw the true shot barrage forward on this, but Snark not able to grab anything, and it will just be the Baron going over towards the side of Kent State. NIU will have to try to fight Runus with this. Elder Dragon has the buff has expired. The hookshot does end up just doing enough. It looks like, oh no, we froze again. Oh geez. See, I do see that we have timers, so that's awesome. And looking at it, all right. So while we find that, we're gonna continue here. Because I'm going to try to pull this up myself again and see what happens, as it does look like this game might still be looking for a winner. I think they're still just trading punches. I'm at 4103 now. Baron has gone over towards the side of Kent State. We knew that already. NIU is looking towards a pick on towards Runus, able to force the flash, able to grab the damage. Check ultimatum also used. Teleport going to be used by the side of Kent State as well. This is going to be their top laner falling. NIU will be able to grab the kill on there, but Theory going to be taken low, and the flash forward, it could be Swolpingu also falling. No, he's going to be able to survive with the Aatrox ultimate. Flash is out from iMain William, able to prevent that one, and NIU will take the 1-for-0 here and just stall out this game even further. How to. Okay. So now both these teams going to look for the Elder Drake as it respawns here in just a couple of seconds. We're looking at about 30 seconds, that is. And both these teams are going to look for this one. 15 seconds still on the Camille, but NIU has Kent State able to find the priority, find themselves the Scuttle Crab. NIU does find the positioning, though, and now they need to position themselves in a place where they can force this fight. Now, teleport does come through from Camille. This is going to be the 5v5 that NIU is looking for. Not able to find anybody, though. And so, both these teams, this almost feels like this is going to be the game right here. Now, Calamity super low, but does proc the Canic Rooker and able to just hold out through some of that damage. And both these teams just poking at each other, looking to see who makes the mistake first. NIU instead will just kind of move towards the mid lane, look to grab priority on this mid lane wave and force it to push in. So Kent State might have to respect that. That is going to be the true shot barrage over the back wall. Runus gonna hook shot, but won't have that available as this fight continues. Now both these teams really starting to commit towards this Elder Drake. That's gonna be flash forward, the hook shot on towards the back line. NIU does grab the Elder Dragon. They're able to grab that, but they'll lose one. They'll lose two. Oh, this is back and forth, and now that's going to be the executes. NIU is going to be able to find three. That's a double kill on towards the Aatrox of Swolpingu, a triple kill on towards the Aatrox of Swolpingu. Snark is going to continue to fight this one forward, be chilling, going to look for the stun. He'll grab the wall. He'll grab the damage. NIU will grab game number 2 in a barn burner of a game, and they will find themselves forcing game 3 in this series. Death timers are way too long for the side of Kent State. NIU just walking this one in 27-21 are going to be the kills. 82,000 to 77,000. A close game in terms of the gold, but it will be NIU evening this series. What a game there from the Huskies. Looking to see, yeah, wow. Look at that damage from the Victor. Look at the damage from the Anivia. That is 54,000 damage from Beach Hill as Anivia, and that is one of those two champions. You don't give him Rumble and you don't give him Anivia, and they gave him one of his signature champions, and he was able to punish on that. And so that'll be NIU taking game number 2 in this way. Look at that gold, just spikes back and forth and back again, but no team had more than a 5,000 gold lead at any point in this game. And we will go to game number 3. We're going to give you guys a quick break here, but and send you guys to a commercial break once again. But we are going to get ready for game number 3, the decider in this series. All right, everybody, welcome back from that ad break. Again, we're running these ads to make sure that you guys don't have to worry about getting any ads when you start to watch or in the middle of the game. But we've got a tradition in League of Legends like no other, a song for these decider matches. So I'm going to throw it back to the song, and then we'll get ready for game 3 of this series. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now that we're all properly hyped, thank you to Miami University rating us with a party of 11 viewers a little bit ago. Thank you to everybody that's followed in the last 30 minutes or so. Austie in the chat wants to see some drift, the Rift Herald game. Yeah, we'll see if they can drift that Rift. Most certainly. For you guys at home, just to let you know, we are seeing NIU back on the red side for this one. So that means that obviously Kent State will move back towards the blue side for game number 3. Looking at it, no changes in the lineups for either of these teams. So we are just waiting for both these teams to be ready, and then we will get ourselves into game number 3, at least champ select for this one. Right. T-Bone with the B woo woo. Absolutely. Gotta love some silver scrapes. You got to love it. And you gotta love these series. Like I said at the launch of this stream tonight, it seems like every single time that these two teams meet in League of Legends, something crazy happens and we get a game 3. Eh, I know it's not every time specifically, but it sure feels like it. I mean, I've been casting these games for 4, 5 years maybe, and yeah, I mean, we seem to get it every year. These are two of our closest matchups here. So we're going to go ahead and get started in just a minute with game number 3. Again, like I said, we're just waiting on these teams to ready up, and then we will go into champ select for it. I'm feeling properly hyped from Silver Scrapes. I've kicked the chair away. I am standing up. You guys are getting the intonation, the projection, everything from this one as we go. And we're going to go ahead and get ready game 3. And hopefully we don't have any freezes like we had in game 2. That was a bit annoying. You know, obviously it happened on the lead client side, not on our side, because we both had it. But ideally, won't happen again. So here we go. I like it, Butternubs. Kent Reed, Kent Wright, Kent State. Interesting. Kent, as we say in our team historically, Kent isn't a state. You can't find it on a map. So hopefully that's going to be the mantra as we go here. Rumble going to be taken off the board from Be Chillin' again. Like I said at the outset of game number 2, there's 2 champs you can't give him. You can't give him Nuvia. You can't give him Rumble. Riven and Galio are going to be taken off the board. Actually, it is the Swolpangu Aatrox that's going to be taken off the board from the side of Kent State. Do they throw the Anivia over towards Imain William? No, they want Landolf the unwise to go on towards the Sins out once again. So NIU really gets their pick of whatever they want left of this one. So they could grab this Anivia again if they feel like could be strong. Instead, it's going to be the Ezreal hover. So they go right back towards that one. Feeling pretty confident on it is Snark at this point. So he's going to go ahead and grab that champion. Now we see what is NIU going to do with this next pick. We've officially hit the 9 o'clock hour here in the Midwest, and in the Central Time Zone. Ooh, I was gonna say a Shaco would have been really spicy. Not sure I've ever seen the Shaco come through for Fury there, and it is gonna be the Vi. Now, Sivir is an interesting pick here. Not something I necessarily expected to see, and instead we'll see Runas go back towards that Gragas, something that was very strong in game number 1. And again, he'll pick that back up here for game number 3. As I was saying, hitting that 9 o'clock hour, this is one of those that as you guys watch in that in the live stream of the arena, um, oh, Nocturne. I lost my train of thought. I'm at a loss for words. Is this a Nocturne for Swolpengu into the Gragas? Or is this a Vi up top and a Nocturne in the jungle? It has to be up top lane. Certainly. Unless it was a misclick. Yeah, NIU'd missed a ban here, so it possibly was a misclick. They may be talking about this back and forth. So let's take just a second, because I was gonna say Nocturne would be crazy. Lysandra gonna be taken off the board by the side of Kent State. And we'll have to see how this one goes. Swain now going to be the ban from NIU. Maybe it is Nocturne. I'm not 100% sure. But as I was saying, looking behind these players, if we get to the 10 o'clock hour, these guys, they're pushing up against the time the arena closes, and we could be in for a late night viewing party at this point. But we'll certainly have to see how this goes, as NIU now going to go ahead and grab their next picks. So we'll see. It's possible they picked the Nocturne and said in chat that it was something else for that rotation. That is something that you can do in this draft mode. And then they would remake the draft from that point. So we'll have to see. It is going to be Anivia picked up once again. So that Nocturne has to be going towards the top lane if it is indeed a Nocturne. So be chillin' once again going towards the Anivia. And we're going to leave that support pick for the side of NIU as a potential to counter here. And it definitely is interesting. Syndra going to be picked up for iMain William. A little bit more of a standard type of mage for the mid lane in this matchup against the Anivia. What is Alcalamity going to go for here? It's going to be the Tom Kench once again. Or at least that's where the hover is. And so we'll see. What does Otter want to go for here? What does he feel strongly will work with the Ezreal in towards the Tom Kench and Sivir bot lane? It's going to be the Braum hover. And there it is. The man from the Freljord, the friend of the Poros, those cute little animals. And we're going to see it on our team. He's got a big old shield, a door, that is. And this is spicy. I mean, that is the tank for NIU. Vi obviously will be more of a tanky bruiser here as well. But Nocturne into Gragas. This has to be a matchup that we're seeing specifically as a counter matchup. Swolpengu, this must be a back pocket type of counter. Excited to see where this goes. And across the board, otherwise very similar. So looks like both these teams ready to go. Looking into the chat or looking into the screen as you see, the teams really kind of feeling the pressure here with this one, knowing that this is game 3, knowing that it really rides on this one, and a win here would really set NIU up nicely with 2 of the tougher teams on their schedule out of the way. Being up 2-1 on the season in their record would be a fantastic place to be if you're the Huskies. Both teams certainly want to get to that point in the season. But for now, it is just going to be our production team's final countdown to this game number 3, the decider in this series. And man, we couldn't have asked for a better series to treat you to this Wednesday night. Honestly, we couldn't have asked for a better 2 series over the last 2 nights to treat you all to. Between the Overwatch match last night, spoiler alert for those of you that haven't watched it yet, go do so as soon as this game's over because it was a banger. And we saw NIU take map 2 after being down map 1. They took map 4 after losing map 3, and they finished it off with map 5 to take the victory 3-2. And every time they were up against the ropes, they were able to come back in that one. So hopefully the Huskies will do the same thing tonight in this League of Legends match. And all of that is going to be decided here in just over a minute and 10 seconds. Man, this one is going to be fun. It already has been. I hope you guys in the chat are finding it fun. Throw doggers in the chat if you would, if you find it entertaining so far. Gotta love that we have that there. Thank you to the 59 viewers we've got so far, and be sure to follow the channel. You'll get notifications whenever we go live. Be a part of our Discord. Be a part of all of our socials. On Discord, we're going to also have live notifications every time that we go live on Twitch, and we really want to continue to up the production. And I think we've done a great job of that this semester. So we want to continue to provide you guys with great opportunities to interact with our players and the entire program. And so at this point, there's nothing else to say except for let's get into game number 3. We'll make sure that production and myself are on the same timing. So we will go ahead, and when you load in, let me know what timing you are at. We will go from there. And looks like cross-board teleports once again. Both ADCs also take a teleport. Looks like on this game, okay. All right, 26 here. And yeah, teleports on all solo lanes as well as on the ADCs. This is a 4 stack up towards the top side for the side of Kent State. And this is the first time we've seen the opposite of what's been normally happening. Swolpingu is going to get spotted. No, I don't know that they had vision of him. They did. Okay, they marked the vision. NIU knows, though, that this is a 4 stack walking in. And so they're maybe roaming up to cover here. Instead, it does look like both of these junglers do elect to potentially do vertical jungling. Deep ward's going to be placed down. And yeah, I mean, this one is just a battle of priority. That is a really deep ward going in, as it looks like, yeah, absolutely. Kent State is electing to go for the lane swap here. NIU needs to be careful here. They are roaming the otter towards it, but he's going to be... Oh, he is going to spot Landolf. Okay, so that will help NIU. They do know now that these are Australia lanes. We are going to just get the Oceania fight here. And so to go with that, I'm going to see Fury starting on the bot side, starting the opponent's red buff, whereas we are seeing the invade from the Xin Zhao as well up, but that's up towards the top side. So both these teams playing with different priorities. Snark going to continue to just farm. NIU had that advantage with the level 2 all-in last game. We'll see if they're able to find the same thing here. Looks like with the long lane, with the top lane, probably not going to be able to find that. Obviously, top lane, bot lane, not necessarily too much different, but not going to find that same priority with the Braum that you would with the Leona in this case. So NIU actually won't even get level 2 first. They'll just have to cede some of the pressure to this Sivir and Tom Kench. They need to be careful here about the potential dive, considering that Xin Zhao is there. But Tahm Kench and Sivir will both start their recalls. So I believe this is going to be just the return to traditional lanes, and it is indeed going to be that. And a lot of damage. Electrocute comes through from Anivia. So NIU get a little bit of an advantage, not a huge one across the board. About a 100 gold advantage, just based on some of this farm that is going over towards the side of the Huskies. Like I said, NIU not going to quite swap their lanes back yet. Now they do see that these lanes have been swapped back by the side of Kent State, so they'll go ahead and do the same. They'll answer that one, take the Nocturne back up towards the top side. Unfortunately, they will lose out just a little bit on the bot side, considering that they were slower to rotate back. So it will be this now giving a little bit of an advantage over towards Kent State, but overall, minuscule at best. This one, again, it's early on, but the pacing is also slow, just like game number 2. Seemed like in game 2, that slow pace did favor the Huskies in the long run. So we'll certainly have to see how that goes. And now, Kent State just does not want to commit to... They do not want to put the Sivir and Tahm Kench in the lane that Braum and Ezreal are in. As soon as they show up bot, Sivir and Tahm Kench are going to go top. As soon as Tahm Kench and Sivir go bot, or as soon as Braum and Ezreal answer top, then Kent State will rotate their bot lane towards the top side. They really don't want this Nocturne getting ahead either, and so they're really just having to play back to avoid any opportunity for the Nocturne to continue to farm and get ahead. And now he's just going to have to play all the way back, really losing out on his turret. But Landolf the Unwise might have gone in a little too heavily on this one. Dashes forward. That's going to be the Vault Breaker from the side of NIU. Fury's going to grab first blood here at 4 minutes and 50 seconds. And NIU will find themselves on the board first in game number 3. Stun comes through. Gragas, very low. Ooh, not able to land the Q. Is Snark. Had to kind of weave it around the minion there, and so obviously was a little more difficult of a shot. And this is exactly, you know, what Kent State were looking for, where they're willing to let their top lane take a little less of the resources in order to let their bot lane get ahead. NIU having the same fate for the Nocturne, but just look at that farm differential. Despite all of that, Nocturne just being able to farm better under turret has been super helpful in this matchup, and he's currently sitting about 15 CS ahead of where Gragas is in the same situation. Now, unfortunately for NIU, Sivir and Tahm Kench have been able to take more plates off that top lane tier 1 turret. They'll also be there to have priority on the grubs. As now it's going to be a fight over that one. Teleport comes through from from Snark. NIU Fury has vision. It's just going to go ahead and start these up. And I think Xin Zhao is going to have to back away from this. It will be the grubs going over towards the side of the Huskies, as well as Kent State just respects the damage and respects the crowd control that NIU's composition can punish with. And it will be the Void Grubs, all 3 going over towards the side of the Huskies. Nice stun coming through from Beach Hill, and that is half health off of Ivan William already. Just going to be able to force him back. He may be sticking around, or she, I should say, but Syndra not really going to be able to answer here as NIU starts up this Hextech Dragon. So Xin Zhao might try to steal this over the wall. NIU going to just try to rush it. And Fury, yeah, there's not going to be a contest here from the side of Kent State. NIU will find themselves with 1 kill out of the 3 they need for the feats. They'll find themselves with both objectives to start the game. And they'll find themselves with farm leads in the top lane and jungle, but they will be down in CS kind of across the board elsewhere. Now, Swopingu going to go in for this one. Nicely done to be able to actually dodge that. So one thing that was a little hard to see, but he perfectly timed the spell shield to be able to prevent the Abyssal Voyage from landing on him. Stun goes through on towards Syndra. Maybe too far back to do much about that. But again, now it's just going to be Kent State trying to find the priority on towards this top lane tier 1 turret. Full Pingu gonna take some poke. I mean, William gonna have to be forced to flash, as nicely done by B Chillin. Now he might roam up top here, and NIU has to be careful, as this is 3 members of Kent State up top. They're pinging on towards Fury. Fury needs to be careful. He sees 2. Now this is the engage. That's the vault breaker over the wall, able to get out of that one. Nicely done by NIU's jungler to avoid that potential engage. Ruinous goes forward, and yeah, that was, I believe, probably a misclick in terms of exactly where he wanted to place that. Unless he realized, oh, I went a little too far forward and had to use the explosive cask just to disengage from the fight. But generally, probably not the smartest fight to be taking. Having used ultimate just to prevent here. Swapingu is going to look for, is going to get dove, but Calamity's going to have to flash because he's taken low. Now this is just a failed dive by the side of Kent State. NIU going to punish, and that's going to be Swapingu grabbing himself the kill. Now, able to dash forward. Will he get there in time? Nope. Calamity able to wait that out, the Nocturne ult, and just a little too soon, not able to follow with the Abyssal, when the Abyssal Voyage came through. Now, NIU might look for a dive here. They're going to go ahead and grab some damage. That's going to be the ultimate as well, and NIU, they're going to grab the Feet of Warfare, and they'll grab themselves a 3-0 lead in game number 3. They'll continue to just push down this bot lane tier 1 turret as well. Everything's coming up NIU's way so far in this one, and now they're just going to have to keep pushing. They have the wave, but teleport will mean that they won't be able to finish top or bot lane tier 1. However, it likely means that turret race will go over towards the side of Kent State, but generally NIU has a very favorable position so far with these grubs spawning in just under a minute at this point. Looking across the board here, NIU, I mean, they realistically don't need to take the grubs, but does look like, ooh, that's explosive cask on towards Anivia. Does keep be chilling in the lane, but the wall is going to mean that he's able to get away from this one. And now, yeah, the door is there. NIU's going to be able to take this kill. And yeah, Kent State just didn't respect the damage or wasn't able to get the Sivir there in time. Now Swapingu will fall. NIU Otter is also going to fall. No, he'll be able to survive, but NIU will also lose Fury in the engage. However, Snark going to be able to answer with a turret of his own, and that is a lot of gold on the NIU AD carry. Almost finished with Trinity Force. Likely will be able to do so with this recall. And overall, NIU, while they lost 2 kills out of that one, they are going to be able to, well, they'll lose the grubs here as well. So, not ideal. Landolf's going to get there first. NIU decides they just want to go straight into the dragon next, so they'll go ahead and grab some damage on for Fury. And this is just a back and forth match so far. I mean, gold pretty darn even. Little bit in favor of the Huskies, but NIU looking to maybe grab these stats, especially with the Nocturne. I mean, that's definitely an early game champion, so potentially what you're seeing is that that Kent State is trying to maybe put NIU on a timer and say, okay, your Nocturne has a lot of value early, but will he have as much value late? And NIU, if they're able to grab this dragon, they'd find themselves with defeats really early on here. And it does look like they're going to be able to start this in probably finish it before Kent State can even rotate over. And yeah, they'll grab themselves the feats. Again, not the most impactful buff of all, but always something that's good to track. But more importantly, they're going to find themselves at 2 Drakes to nothing as this Infernal Soul is decided upon. So, NIU definitely in the driver's seat when it comes to starting up that Soul. Both teams have taken a tier 1 turret from the other. Important considering that they're across the map and that turret plating hasn't even fallen, and yet that's already been found. Now, All Calamity is here. Syndra also is. That's going to be the stun on towards Otter. The damage doesn't do enough, though. Snark and Otter able to just walk away from that one. Nicely done by the Huskies. And we just see them reset and continue to farm. So, NIU doing what they need to continue punishing this this map-wide movement from the side of Kent State. They're going to go ahead and move the Anivia from B Chillin down towards the bot lane just to soak this wave from the side of the Gragas of Ruinous. And now, Snark, he needs to be careful here. He's going to be able to dash backwards. This could be turned around as that's the damage on towards the jungler. Oh no, that was the ultimate used by the Tom Kench, but it doesn't matter. NIU able to turn this around, flash forward, nicely done, and stun, not unable to get the stun. So NIU won't be able to follow that up. It will just be a 2-for-1 in favor of the Huskies. Both ADCs fall in the fight, but NIU finds themselves another one fight. Be chillin', not quite level 11 yet. Unleash power does get used, but it's not able to execute, not able to knock down the not able to knock down the egg. All right, as we go here, does look like now Kent State just really trying to push towards the mid lane, and NIU now going to send down the Nocturne to answer the Gragas. Nocturne also sitting at level 10. Important to note that this is a Gragas with phase rush, so a little more of a movement speed focused build. Otter just gonna take a ton lash there, but overall things have kind of slowed down a little bit here, as both teams are just really looking for that next dragon in 2 minutes. Rift Herald also going to be the next thing to spawn. That's going to be in 10 seconds. And so both these teams kind of positioning towards it, but neither one of them fully wanting to commit to being up towards that top side. Now, Rift Herald has spawned, as you see on your screen, and the Nocturne, Swole Pingu on this Nocturne, is 3-1 and 2, has the ultimate available now. So, again, this is really your time frame. This is what you're looking for as NIU. You want to find the timing around when that Nocturne ult is available, when he can turn off the lights on the enemy team. And NIU gonna go ahead and move towards this Rift Herald. They'll start it up. It looks like Kent State's just going to try to take their mid lane tier 1 turret. NIU might just try to answer this with the Rift Herald. And yes, it is going to be that. Yeah, NIU will just try to force them off the mid lane tier 1. They'll successfully do so. They'll grab the Rift Herald for themselves, and they'll probably find themselves moving towards Dragon as well. Like I said, ultimate's still available for this Nocturne, so if the Paranoia is used, that's where NIU can really commit to a fight here. They do have the mid lane priority. They're going to go ahead and put some damage down. That's going to be a multi-person stun over the sidewall. There's going to be the Paranoia. NIU now needs to turn this fight around. Outer going to be doing some damage on the back line. NIU able to turn this around. It is a 1-for-1 so far, or 2-for-2 so far, I should say. Swole Pingu is still alive, but we'll see both NIU's front line is gone, but the side of Kent State has lost one of its 2 damage dealers. actually 2 of its 3 damage dealers. And now that's going to be the teleport re-engage from the Ezreal. That's going to be the damage. Here comes the True Shot Barrage. NIU's on the side. Swolpingu not going to be able to commit to this one, as NIU does just elect to start those recalls. Snark going to try to place some vision down for this dragon. Sees that Runus is here, doesn't know that he's standing on a ward. Gold is now in favor of Kent State. Kills in favor of the Huskies. NIU looking to put themselves on Soul Point. So this is important for Kent State to try to fight this one, or at least to know that if they don't fight this one, they need to fight the next. NIU using the Rift Herald. I think this is a smart play, able to just force Kent State away from the dragon. Now, Snark does get stunned by that. That's going to be the explosive cast back in. Nicely done, Snark, able to sidestep that one. NIU does look for the damage. That's going to be Landolf the Unwise falling early in this fight. NIU needs to find one focus. They're going to have to be backline. Anivia doing a nice job. That's going to be the kill over to B-Chillin. NIU now 2 for 1, or 2 for none, and I apologize. Anivia able to get a double kill. NIU a 3 for nothing, and the Drake. And NIU is coming up aces in this fight and this game. NIU finds themselves on Soul Point. Swolpingu could be in trouble here. El Calamity. Now that's going to be the fear. It's going to be the damage. He is going to eat the Nocturne. Doesn't matter. NIU has the damage to kill him off before he's able to get this. Now, B-Chillin. Yeah, that's his egg form. This also might be Runus. Now, Runus doesn't have the damage, but it will be just the passive getting taken down by the side of Kent State. Gold lead has started to blossom. It's over to 2,000 gold in favor of NIU now. The kills, 7 in favor of NIU. And NIU just looking to try to find that next fight. Looking at it once again. Paranoia back available for Nocturne. So again, being able to turn off the lights around a fight here. We're seeing that Otacon spawns in like 2 seconds now. So there, Otacon has spawned. Once again, it's Voracious. NIU has inside positioning on this one, but I almost think they're trying to bait in the side of Kent State on this. All Calamity, gonna grab some Blood Roses. NIU, this is a little risky. Maybe a little aggressive, the positioning. But NIU believes that they might know where the vision is. So, like I said, Paranoia is available. This is the teleport coming in. Nice wall from Anivia. Just able to delay the entry to this fight from the side of Kent State. Now that's going to be Paranoia used. Damage comes through. Otacon going to be taken low. It's going to be taken by NIU. They're going to find the kills. They're going to find the damage. That's going to be the buff. That's going to be the kill. 2 for 1 when the reset comes through. NIU, a double kill over towards the Ezreal. Now, potentially a 3rd kill as well. Snark going to have to layer this damage. He's going to be taken out as well, but B-Chillin is here. Now, it's going to be the Tom Kench falling as well. 16 to 5 are the kills. And that is a very low Sivir. It's going to be a dead Sivir. It's going to be the ace going over towards NIU. And they're going to find themselves with at least one member still having the buff from Otacon. So Jacob's talked about it pretty consistently in our broadcast that the Otacon, especially the Voracious buff, can be pretty bait, considering that you got to find the right fight. Maybe NIU wasn't able to find the perfect fight in that time, but it was a really nice opportunity. Yes, they lost the Otacon buff on most of the members of the team. Truthfully, it probably doesn't matter because they were able to get such an advantage from that fight that Kent State only got 100 gold from each of those kills, and they technically don't count as kills either. And NIU, on the other hand, got about 300 gold from each of the kills. So it just continues to blossom that lead. It's now about 4,000, that gold lead. Dragon spawns in 2 minutes. That would be the Infernal Soul, and NIU certainly will be looking for that one. They're going to look to place the vision. Both of these top laners finally back in their respective lanes, and at 22 minutes, it's just going to be, look at that cooldown on Paranoia. It's back available, as is not Vault Breaker, but cease and desist. My apologies. Ballbreaker is the Q on Vi. And yeah, True Shot Barrage can be used, but it's such a low cooldown that it's just going to be used to grab some space, reset the wave, and NIU will reset, grab their buys, and then come back with the ability to fight for this dragon. "23 minutes. We're finally at a point where things, for at least for the next minute or so, they're a little calm. Teleports are available on both these top laners should they need to teleport in to fight for the dragon. Almost certainly that is going to be the priority here. And on top of that, look at the timings on these two objectives. Baron is just about a minute after Dragon right now. And so there's a strong possibility that whatever team wins the Dragon fight here would be able to then parlay that straight into Baron. So Kent State has to fight this. They cannot lose this Dragon. That is not going to keep the Anivia off of you. And unfortunately, yeah, NIU actually not able to do enough damage to the Syndra. Now, Fury might be in a bad spot. He's going to be taken low. It's going to be turned around. There's Paranoia. That's going to be landed on top of things. And Fear goes through. NIU now able to grab the kill. Nicely done. Re-engaging is Fury. That's a 3-for-1 in favor of the Huskies. They're going to go ahead and secure themselves the soul, and they will put themselves on that victory road here in this series as they just keep finding the fights. The game one fights weren't going their way, but they didn't get discouraged. They turned it around in game number 2, and that was just a nail-biter game, almost 45 minutes. Game 3 has been much more Husky-sided, and as an NIU fan, you gotta love that. Look at this performance. I need to call that out while we have just a minute between the next objective, the Baron spawning here in 20 seconds. I need to call out this performance by every one of the members of NIU's team. 3-1-13 on the Nocturne for Swolpangu. 4-2-8 on the Vi for Fury. 5-0, no deaths. And 5 for Anivia. 7 kills, 1 death, 5 assists for Snark on the Ezreal, although this is not a great spot to be in. Gonna be, not able to be saved, but doesn't matter because NIU will be able to trade that one. Nicely done by Beachhill and able to grab a 6th kill for himself. Flash forward by Runas. That's gonna be the explosive cask, but there's Flash and the wall. Nicely done. And just gonna be turned around now. NIU might have gone a little forward with this one. Yeah, they have, as that's gonna be NIU losing their mid laner and their jungler. And that's gonna be Baron going over towards the side of Kent State. So I'll be the first to admit, I might have spoken a little too soon, gotten a little ahead of myself. This one's not over by any stretch, so don't make it, don't get confused. It's this game, as much as I'm praising the performance NIU has had so far, it is 100% not over. Now, Kent State didn't start Baron right away, so this does give NIU the chance to get back on the map and potentially contest this. Do I think that they're going to be able to? Probably not. Especially with Beachhill down for another 7 seconds or so. Yeah, NIU. Well, they're going to teleport in. They've got Swolpangu here. That was an explosive cast that didn't land on anybody. Paranoia is available. NIU can get vision. They do have vision. Now they're going to be able to try to get over. Oh, that's going to be Vi getting over. That's going to be the Vault Breaker. It's going to be the steal, the cease and desist. NIU's going to be able to grab it. They're going to be able to grab 2 kills at this one as well. That's 3 now. NIU, what a play by Fury. What a game. And they're going to be able to take this one. That's going to be the ace, as NIU is going to walk straight down the mid lane. And I don't know that they'll quite end it yet, but they're going to find themselves up 26-12 in the kills, and they're going to find themselves up 5,000 gold. As what a play by Fury, able to use the cease and desist over the wall, and that was only enabled because Otter was able to walk in, grab vision, then he was able, this is Fury, was able to cease and desist, smite away the Baron, my apologies, and they were able to finish off that fight with the Infernal buff. As NIU will take the inhibitor, and like I said, not quite able to end the game yet, but they are very close to being able to do so, as 2 minutes and 40 seconds remain on this Elder Dragon. And NIU will look to find that and look to find themselves the victory in this series. As Fury able to grab the blue buff for his team. And now it's back on this Vision battle, the setup for this Elder Drake. With an inhibitor down, NIU doing a nice job of using the Nocturne to continue to push in that wave. And as we speak, yeah, it just forces the side of Kent State to continuously recover these objectives, to continuously make sure that these Baron, or not Baron, but these super minions aren't flooding into their base. They're going to have to give up the tier 2 in the bot lane. And realistically, look at that damage from Snark. That's a single Essence Flux into a Q. As just looking at it, you got this. The Sivir can't clear a full Baron up wave, and so NIU's just able to continue to siege down, especially with this Anivia. They're going to keep putting the pressure on, and you've got Nocturne sitting up in the mid lane, just continuously pushing in that wave as well. As soon as Kent State's able to clear this out, they immediately have to go back on the defensive in the top or in the mid lane, and then NIU is able to turn that around, reset, grab vision, and look for this Elder Dragon. So that's NIU is playing this siege clinically so far, and it's all being enabled by these fantastic performances across the board by the individual players of the Huskies, and such a team performance in this game. Runas goes forward. He's going to grab the explosive cask. Flash comes through from Beachill. Nice wall. He might be taken low. He's going to be taken low into egg form. That is going to be the Paranoia fighting over the back. Not able to get there in time. Agnivia? Yeah, does fall, but NIU able to grab one on the backside as that's going to be the double kill over towards Snark, or actually it's just a single kill over towards Snark. Now it's a double, but it doesn't matter. This is going to be the continued fight. NIU will just find their fights. They'll find their game. They'll walk down the mid lane, and they will find themselves at 2-1 on the ESC season, almost certainly. Now, I'm not sure that they're going to Tom Kench looks like he might try to hold this. They didn't stop his recall, so maybe I spoke a bit too soon. I think it's still headed in that direction. This is a 4v1. They just need to be a little bit careful. That's going to be the damage on towards the Nexus turret, number 1. They're able to take that one down. Now the damage on towards Tom Kench. Swilpingo's quite low. That's going to be the dash forward from Xin Zhao. Fury going to have to try to get out of this one, able to do so, and NIU will be able to escape after taking one of the Nexus turrets. And now they'll move immediately towards this Infernal, or not Infernal, I'm sorry, towards this Elder Drake. Nope, they'll recall. And be chill, and we'll just put some vision down to allow them to reset and look for this Elder Dragon, and then potentially just end the game off of that. 30-13, a 9,000 gold lead. NIU has pulled the complete opposite of what game 1 looked like. I mean, that was a very heavy Kent State gold lead. Game 2 was really close. Now this is NIU needs to be very careful. Fury going to be taken low. He's going to be engaged on, but it doesn't matter. Beachill and able to grab the kill on towards main William in the backline. A double kill for the Anivia. A triple kill for the Anivia. Is this going to be the Penta? It is not. It's going to be Snark grabbing the 4th kill. And the ace goes over towards Swilpingo. But that's going to be it, folks, as NIU is going to find themselves the game. They're going to find themselves the series, the reverse sweep, and they will find themselves at 2-1 on the ESC 2025 season as they move into a crucial week here with Central Michigan on the docket for Friday and Western Michigan on the docket for Saturday. But there it is, folks. That's going to be falling as NIU does it and takes the victory against Kent State in crazy fashion. All right. Let's take a look at that damage graph. Holy moly. Look at how that gold just ballooned. And there was a time, look at that, about 26 minutes. It looked like Kent State might have been coming back in the game. But that damage, 50.6 thousand from Snark on this Ezreal, 31.7 thousand on this Anivia from Beach Hillin. NIU took the game, they secured it, and they found themselves the victory. What a match, what a series. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Um, as always, we're going to get the post game interviews ready to go and posted in social media. So don't forget to check us out on there. Do not forget to follow the channel. This video and the VOD of it will be posted on YouTube by the end of the evening. So if you want to rewatch any of these key moments, don't hesitate to do so on our YouTube channel. It's just NIU Sports on YouTube. As well as on social media. We're going to post our This Week in NIU Esports on Monday. So that'll have highlights from all the games throughout the week. So don't forget to tune in. So as I was mentioning earlier, congratulations to Overwatch for their victory in reverse fashion last night as well against Buffalo Overwatch. Then we had League of Legends take this match in a reverse sweep tonight. Tomorrow, it's a full packed week for you guys because tomorrow we've got Overwatch versus Bowling Green, 7 p.m. right here on the channel. Don't want to miss it. Friday, 7 o'clock, right here on the channel. We've got League of Legends versus Central Michigan. Again, don't want to miss it. And then Saturday, we're right back on we're doing 2 games in 24 hours. We got 2 p.m. Saturday this week, Western Michigan, League of Legends. Again, you don't want to miss any of the action. So be sure to stay locked into the channel. Hit that follow button and you'll get notified every time, as well as look in our Discord. As long as you've got the notifications on for the game that you like, when that game goes live, you'll get a notification in our Discord. So absolutely check in with those. Thank you so much to Ethan Noodle. Give it up in the chat for Ethan. The production has been fantastic this year. We just keep adding something new every single week. We've got lineup cards now. We've got, you guys saw the camera with drafts. So kudos to Ethan for putting this on. Much for sticking with me through the solo cast tonight. I have been Connor Vagel on the cast. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. I know I enjoyed the outcome, and I hope you did too. We'll see you guys tomorrow for Overwatch. We'll see you guys on Friday for another League of Legends match. Until then, stay safe and do your studying. So we'll see you guys very soon. Thank you so much. Have a good night.